Today, we are going to learn about an important experiment present in the engineering chemistry lab. That is estimation of ferrous iron by potentiometry using potassium permanganate solution. Aim of this experiment is to determine the equivalence point for the titration between ferrous ammonium sulfate solution and a potassium permanganate solution, and also to find the strength of ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Apparatus required for this experiment are potentiometer, 200 ml beakers. We require a platinum electrode, a saturated calomel electrode, and a pipette, burette stand, burette. And even we require a glass rod also for stirring. And the chemicals required for this experiment are ferrous ammonium sulfate solution, whose concentration is not known, is to be determined. And next, sulfuric acid solution, whose concentration is 2 normal, and 0.1 normal potassium permanganate solution. Here, potassium permanganate is a known concentrated solution. By using this, we are going to find the concentration of unknown concentrated ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. In this experiment, we don't require any indicator. Potassium permanganate itself acts as a self-indicator. So we don't require any indicator, but we are measuring the potential. Based on the potential, we are going to calculate the strength of the ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Now coming to the principle behind this experiment. Before I start with the principle, let me explain you the brief procedure behind this experiment. In this experiment, we require two half cells. The two half cells are saturated calomel electrode, which is placed in the saturated KCl solution. A saturated calomel electrode, which is placed in saturated KCl solution. Now here the saturated calomel electrode is our reference electrode. It's a reference electrode. And it is acting as one half cell. And the other half cell is a platinum electrode. Here we have taken a platinum electrode. The platinum electrode is placed in a 20 ml ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Means we need to take a beaker, empty beaker. In that beaker, we need to pipette out 20 ml of ferrous ammonium sulfate solution and 5 ml of sulfuric acid solution, which is 2 normal. So we need to stir it and then we need to place the platinum electrode. Okay. At that time, this half cell is going to act as a cathode. Now this is a half cell acting as cathode, and saturated calomel electrode will be acting as anode. Right. Now these two half cells, these two anode and a cathode, are internally connected to each other through salt bridge. Okay. Externally, these two are connected to each other through potentiometer. Okay. So what is potentiometer? Potentiometer is an instrument which measures the potential difference between these two half cells. Okay. The potential difference between these two half cells will be measured and it is displayed in this potentiometer. Right. And now, as I said that the reference electrode, saturated calomel electrode, it has a definite potential of 0.2422. Okay. Now coming to the cathode, our cathode is a platinum electrode which is placed in the ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Right, ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Okay, and now what we will do, we'll take a burette, we'll fill a burette with potassium permanganate solution. Okay, so as we know that potassium permanganate is a strong oxidizing agent. So oxidizing agent means it's a chemical which helps in an oxidation process, and in turn it will undergo reduction. Okay, so potassium permanganate is a good or strong oxidizing agent that will be taken in a burette. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to add 1 ml or 1 ml of KMnO4 should be added to the ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. So when we add, what happens? The permanganate ions which are present, now they start undergoing reduction. So in order to undergo reduction, they require electrons. right? Ferrous iron, the ferrous ammonium sulfate, in that there are the ferrous iron. Now this ferrous iron, they undergo oxidation. It converts to ferric iron with the loss of one electron. One ferrous iron will be converted to ferric iron with the loss of one electron. So in order to undergo reduction, the manganese, here it is +7 oxidation state. From +7, it should convert into +2. So it requires 5 electrons. That means 5 Fe+2 will be undergoing oxidation to convert into 5 Fe+3. Okay, so there it undergoes an oxidation, releasing of 5 electrons. Now those 5 electrons will be accepted by the manganese, which in turn converts to the manganese +2. So oxidation and reduction, it is happening simultaneously. So we call this type of titration as redox titration. So during this redox titration, the potential generated can be given as E cell. So E cell can be given as E cathode, reduction potential of our cathode, minus reduction potential of anode. Okay, so E cathode, our cathode is platinum electrode placed in the ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. So during this reaction, the potential developed can be given as E naught Fe+3/Fe+2 plus 0.0591 log Fe+3/Fe+2. Okay, so whatever we have written, this is completely based on the Nernst equation. So Fe+3 concentration divided by Fe+2 concentration. Okay, so as the reaction is Fe+2 is converting into Fe+3. This is what the oxidation reaction. So if you write the reduction reaction, it will be Fe+3 accepts the electron, converts to Fe+2. Okay. So when you substitute in the Nernst equation, you will get it as E naught Fe+3/Fe+2 plus 0.0591 log Fe+3 concentration by Fe+2 concentration. Now this is what the potential generated through the cathode. Now what about our anode? Our anode is saturated calomel electrode. As we know that this is a reference electrode and its potential is 0.2422. Now that should be substituted. Okay, so when after substitution, when we see now this 0.2422 is a constant term, and even 0.0591 is also a constant, 0.8 is also a constant. 0.8 is nothing but standard electrode potential of iron. It's a standard electrode potential, which is 0.8. Okay, since all these are the constants, we can simply write E cell, the electrode potential generated is always proportional to the log Fe+3 concentration to Fe+2 concentration. Okay, so as we have discussed, as a concentration of Fe+3 increases due to addition of potassium permanganate solution, the ferrous is converting to ferric. As the concentration of ferric iron is increasing, even the electrode potential also increases. Okay, the electrode potential is completely based on the concentration of Fe+3 by Fe+2 concentration. Okay, so this is what the principle behind this experiment. Now coming to the procedure. Now coming to the procedure of estimation of iron by potentiometry using K-Manofo solution. Okay, so now this is a potentiometer. Okay, now this potentiometer is in turn connected to two electrodes. One electrode is saturated calomel electrode, which is placed in saturated KCl solution. Saturated calomel electrode, which is placed in saturated KCl solution. Now coming to the other electrode is a platinum electrode. Now here at present it is placed in water. Okay, so when we are doing our experiment, we need to replace this with our solution. Now these two half cells, these are called as half cells. These two half cells are connected using a salt bridge. Internally connected through a salt bridge. Externally these are connected through a potentiometer. Okay, so in a potentiometer you can see a node. That node can be shifted up and it can be shifted down. Okay, so when you are shifting up, it means it is in a hold way. When you are shifting to a down mode, it means it is in a read mode. Okay, now we need to take a burette. We need to fill the burette with KMnO4 solution, potassium permanganate solution, whose concentration is 0.1 N. Okay, now coming to the another. Now we need to take a beaker, 100 ml beaker, and we need to pipette out 20 ml of ferrous ammonium sulfate solution, whose concentration we are supposed to find. And then we need to add around
5 ml of 2-normal sulfuric acid.
It should be added slowly to that beaker. Electrode that should be taken out, and we need to clean this electrode properly. After cleaning this electrode, we need to place ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Okay, we need to place that platinum electrode in a ferrous ammonium sulfate solution, and we need to place the salt bridge also. Okay, so after connecting in this way, it develops the potential. Okay, it develops the potential. The developed potential will be displayed in our potentiometer. Now we need to, when we are supposed to read the value, we need to jump it to a read mode. So we can see the potential developed between the two half cells is 269 millivolts. So we need to tabulate it. We need to tabulate the values, taking serial number as one column, volume of KMnO4 as another column, measured EMF which is displayed in the potentiometer, that is another column, change in the EMF, change in the volume of KMnO4, and delta E by delta V. These are the things that should be tabulated. Okay, now coming with the serial number 1, now we have not added anything KMnO4 solution, so it will be 0 ml. Okay, to 0 ml we got the EMF as 269. Okay, then, and one more thing here, the delta A is dash. It is taken as a dash. Since there is no another value, another EMF value in order to take the difference, so we have considered it as dash. And even for the delta V also, there is no V2, so that's the reason we have considered it as a dash. Okay, now we need to add 1 ml of KMnO4 solution to the ferrous ammonium sulfate. After that, we need to stir it properly. Okay, so one more thing we need to observe, that when we are stirring, the instrument should be kept in a hold mode. Okay, and continue the stirring so that there will be an even distribution of manganese KMnO4 solution in a ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. There happens a redox reaction and there will be change in the potential. Okay, so after stirring for a certain period of time, you need to place it to a read mode. Now you can see that there is an increase in the EMF value. Okay, just make a note of that, it is 343. Okay, now continue the addition. Add 1 ml to the ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. And when you are adding, we need to make sure that we need to see the
Per meniscus.
stir the solution properly, then keep it in the. So here it is displayed as 352. Make a note of that, it is 352. Okay, now add 1 more ml. Make a note of value, it is 366. See here, the potential is increasing due to increase in the concentration of ferric iron. It is 380.
Add 1 ml a lot and make a note of the values.
Just increase it to 392.
So we need to go on add 1 ml of KMnO4 solution to ferrous ammonium sulfate solution till there should be a sudden jump in the potential value. So at 7 ml we got a potential difference as 422 millivolts. It is 443. Yeah, you could observe that every time we are adding 1 ml of potassium permanganate to the ferrous ammonium sulfate, and we have to stir, and later we need to make a note of the values through the potentiometer. See that the value should become a stagnant value, then only we need to make a note in the table. It is 501. Just you can find here the last value, it is 501. Now suddenly there is a jump in the potential, that to 1072. Okay, that means there the reaction has been completed, stating that all the ferrous iron has been converted to ferric iron. Okay, so just make a note of this value, it is 1079. Now, even though after getting a high value, you need to repeat the process. You need to add 1 ml. Make a note of this. It is 1107. You can also see that there is a change in the color. It is 1123. $11.32. It is increased to 1138. It is 1141. $11.45. It's 11:51. So it is 11:51. It is 1154. $11.59 at 19th ml. $11.65 at 20 ml. Like that, we need to go on, add 1 ml, and we need to make a note of EMF value. After tabulating all the values, we need to do delta E and delta V. Okay, so delta E is nothing but change in the EMF value. Delta V is nothing but change in the volume of KMnO4 added. Okay, so here when we are seeing the difference between these two, we have a difference around 74. Okay, so we need to see the difference. We need to see the difference between these EMF values and make a note of this. So difference of 269 and 343, it is E2 minus E1, we are going to get it as 74. And now similarly see the difference of V2 minus V1, we will get it as 1. Okay, so when we divide 74 by 1, we will get the delta E by delta V is also 74. Okay, now similarly we need to calculate the delta E and delta V values for all the values, and we need to draw the graphs.
Okay, there are two, we can plot two graphs. One is a characteristic graph and the other is a differential graph. Okay, the characteristic graph is plotted between a volume of KMnO4 versus EMF of the solution, EMF generated during the process of the reaction. Okay, and the another graph is a differential graph, which is between the volume of KMnO4 and delta E and delta V. So in case of the characteristic graph, there is a sudden increase of EMF. You could find there is a sudden increase of EMF. This indicates that sudden increase indicates that the neutralization has been completed. Okay, so in order to predict at what point, at what ml of KMnO4 there is a complete conversion of ferrous to ferric iron, that can be predicted by differential graphs. Okay, differential graph delta E by delta V values we can get these values from the above table, and then when we plot, we'll get a sharp peak. Okay, so when we extraplot this peak towards an x-axis, we can get volume of KMnO4 required for neutralization of ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. After getting the volume of KMnO4, we need to start the calculation. So we have a relation N1V1 is equals to N2V2. N1 is the normality of ferrous ammonium sulfate. V1 is the volume of ferrous ammonium sulfate. N2 is a normality of KMnO4 solution. V2 is the volume of KMnO4 solution, or simply we can say volume required for complete neutralization. Okay, now this value we are going to get it from the graph V2. Okay, so we need to substitute all the values in the above relation, and you are going to get the N1 value. That is the strength of ferrous iron present in that solution. Okay, so the result states that we can find the strength of ferrous ammonium sulfate, and one more thing, we can also predict the equivalent point for the titration of ferrous ammonium sulfate against potassium permanganate.